So as usual, I've decided to do some Disney World planning because I found out literally like 2 days ago that we need to book our ADRs next month.
It has come around super fast. I genuinely cannot believe that this trip is creeping up on this quickly. Like, how insane is that?
And I'm not ready. I'm not ready at all.
Neither of us are. We're not prepared for this.
I've actually decided today to get Ash involved. He doesn't really usually help with the planning. He just kind of lets me pick and then goes along with it mostly.
Well, you make it sound worse than it is. I know how much you love planning. I don't want to take that away from you. And so what usually ends up happening is that Sarah comes to me with an itinerary and I tick it off for final approval. She goes, I think we should eat here, here, and here. And I go, sure, sounds great. You know, you've done the research. But this time, I'm sitting in on the research stage. This is a learning process for me as well.
Yeah, I get a lot of people ask me, how do I pick where we're going to eat? And I'm not going to necessarily pick where we're going today, but I'm going to show you how we narrow it down, what kind of things we look for, and it should be really fun. So usually when I start planning a holiday, I think, well, for food, I think, where do I really want to go that we went to last time? Because that kind of, you know, if we want to go to 4 restaurants in Magic Kingdom, I don't need to look for anywhere else in Magic Kingdom because we've kind of already sorted it. So for me, I think the only place I really want to go back is Yachtsman.
Yachtsman Steakhouse for sure.
Anywhere you'd like to go back?
I still would like to go back to California Grill, but
Okay.
it's definitely if we can fit this in our plans kind of restaurant. If something else looks really good and we want to go there instead, that's fine by me. But so far, I've had a really, really good time at California Grill. It's not changing to be a buffet, as everyone is very pleased to know, after that slight random rumour went around. And so yeah, I would like to add that one to the list, if possible.
I mean, that's kind of really good. Both those two aren't in theme parks, which kind of helps. Now, I like to go through theme park by theme park and kind of see what's out there, what meals I want to go. For example, very first day in Magic Kingdom, definitely want to go for breakfast somewhere.
Yes, we do.
So the first thing I would usually do is go onto the Disney website like this, pick the park that I'm looking at, and pick the time. Now, the date doesn't necessarily matter because
It's probably going to be very similar across all days. That's more for if you're actually making a reservation and you want to make sure that you can go to one that's available. We're just doing like an initial scout, a little bit of recon.
Here we go. This is a bit more. So the 3 restaurants that I kind of knew about, I think these are the only 3, would be our guest, Cinderella's, Crystal Palace. I mean, for us, really, it's probably going to be Crystal Palace. Look out for that one. So that's kind of a nice, easy one. Then I'd probably, you know, we might not even necessarily use it, but it's nice to know in your head, okay, for breakfast, I'm going to go here. The good thing about these, they tell you how expensive they are with the little pound signs on them, so you can kind of see.
Those are definitely dollar signs.
Yeah, dollar signs. I mean, and if you click on one, so let's take example Cinderella's Royal Table. It tells you a little bit about it. It says fine dining, which I think is a push.
Yeah, that's really overestimating themselves a little bit.
It shows you here what dining plans accepted. Now, if you click it, it actually tells you, and it took me ages last time to work this out, it actually tells you how many credits it uses. Too many is the answer to that question.
Definitely too many for CRT.
And then also they have a gallery, so if you want to see what kind of the food's like. Now, if I'm ever trying to get Ash into a menu, there's no food, and that's probably the best thing they could have done with these.
No, there we go. See, this looks nice. It's quite warm. I don't like the styling.
I mean, yeah, there's not a lot of food photos on here compared to some of the other restaurants, and that's probably a good shout.
But yeah, definitely looking at the photos is a big way that I get into which restaurants I want to go to. I look at how they plate stuff, I look at the style they've gone for the photography, and I go, yeah, this kind of place is giving me a real good vibe. That was definitely one of the reasons we ate at California Grill last time, because I saw the photos for that restaurant. I was like, no, drop everything. We have to eat here. I want to eat here. This looks amazing.
I mean, to even go further back than that, sometimes it's good just to click on the park and actually see what they do, because, you know, some snack places like Aloha Isle, a lot of people go for the Dole Whip. Dole Whips can be quite filling. Now, I don't find ice cream filling personally.
I wouldn't want one for breakfast.
Not necessarily for breakfast, but if you know during your day you want to get a Dole Whip and that's going to make you really full, I wouldn't necessarily then go for lunch. Like,
Sure.
it's kind of, you're not then doing too many meals. Like, whenever we do meals, and I think this is a mistake we made last time, is when we went to Epcot the second day, we had a dinner reservation booked, but we were also doing the Flower and Garden booth.
That was a very, very intense day for eating.
And I think next time we won't necessarily do that. So it's good just to know what you want to eat in a park like Casey's Corner. I really want to go back to Casey's Corner.
I really want a Casey's Corner hot dog because I genuinely don't think I've had one. I've had a drink
You
from
have
there.
had. Did you not have one when we all sat and got
No,
one?
I don't think I did. I think I was like, I'm really full.
What?
I'm kind of going to skip it because I'd eaten a lot on that holiday.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to skip it. And I wish I hadn't. I really wish I'd got a hot dog because I like hot dogs a lot.
And for me, this is something you need to think about at this stage, because if you know you're going to want to have a quick service,
Yeah.
there's no point us going for a big buffet breakfast and a big dinner, because you're not going to be able to fit it in. You're not going to be hungry at lunchtime on the first day. End of the holiday, you'll probably be able to fit it in. But
Yeah.
it's just really considering what you want to do. So I always find this is just a really good... This looks amazing, by the way. I just find it's a really good list to just kind of look through, get an idea of what they've got. It'll tell you if it's quick service, if it's table service, if it's a buffet. It's just really useful, and I kind of spent a lot of time on here. They also have the special events, which we'll get to in a second when we get onto Hollywood Studios, because God knows you
We've
need
got
to do
some
something.
decisions to make there.
So, I mean, I think Magic Kingdom is one of the easier places, not because there's a lot of options, just because there isn't a lot of options.
Yeah.
When you move to somewhere like Epcot, if I get rid of Magic Kingdom, Epcot's insane. There's so many restaurants in Epcot, and I find for Epcot personally, think a little bit outside the box. Now, when I was going as a kid, I always just did the... What's the one?
Electric umbrella for the
Oh no,
chicken tenders.
no, I wasn't. I wasn't even that exciting. I did
Really?
Was it the Fife and Drum Tavern? The one in America.
That's slightly more adventurous than standard quick service fare. I'm actually fairly impressed with
I
you
still
for
get a
that.
cheeseburger from there though.
Well, yeah, but...
And then I
Okay.
discovered the China Pavilion. And again, I love the China Pavilion, but I really feel this time I want to branch out and try something new, especially in Epcot, of all the places.
Yeah, it definitely ate up a meal slot eating there.
And again, we're going to be there for Flower and Garden.
Yeah.
So we got to think this time. I necessarily wouldn't go for dinner on the first day we're going there.
I
Because
don't think we should have booked a Le Cellier for a 2-credit meal and eaten all of the food around the showcase that we did. That was a lot of food that day.
So for me, what I was really thinking of this day is going for a nice breakfast somewhere like Garden Grill, nice fresh buffet breakfast, and then you've got
Yeah.
the rest of the day to eat what you want. So at this point, I'd probably end up looking for counter services for the evening in case we get peckish. The
Yeah.
worst thing is to be hungry in World Showcase and not really have any idea. I've done this, and I can tell you it's horrible. Being in World Showcase, not really knowing what you want, and go, well, look around and see what we fancy.
Oof. No, because the one you want is going to be at like one of the first 2 countries, and you'll be right round the end of the showcase and be like, it's so far.
Oh look, that is not from Electric Umbrella.
Yeah,
this
it is.
what
It's
I
one
mean.
of their salads.
This is what I mean about the pictures are so good. Like, Electric Umbrella to me is burgers and chips, and you wouldn't, like, this is why their pictures are so good and it's so useful to go on the website. You can be like, what the heck is that? And if you click it, it not only has a gallery that shows
I
you,
mean, that chicken is looking very quick service now that you look into it.
but it also tells you, no, it doesn't there. That's flatbread. Oh, cheesecake looks terrible.
That chicken looks weird.
It's an energy salad.
Energy salad.
And if you're not sure what that means, you can literally click on the menu. I love this. This is great.
You have genuinely so much fun exploring
I
menus
do.
of places.
And you can find it, energy salad roasted chicken. So it's fresh greens topped with roast chicken. This is nice. Like, look at all the different options they have now.
And I think this is one of the other really good ways to work out which place you want to eat, is take a look, see which places grab you, but then definitely check the menu. There are people out there that kind of go, I think I'm going to eat here. What are you going to get? Like, what's on the menu that you like? I don't know. I'm just going to turn up and see. And it's like, no. Definitely check the menu. Make sure that there is at least a couple of things that you want to pick between. I'm not saying that you have to do a full Sarah and pick out what you're going to be eating like 6 months in advance, but take a look and go, yeah, I know I can find something on here. I know that pretty much no matter when it is, I'm going to go here and be able to find something that I want to eat, because that's a real big part of it.
I forget that there's a patisserie in
Yeah,
France.
there's a whole patisserie.
And also what I find is really useful from here, if you see something that you like the look of, even just by the picture, I write it down and have like a separate list that I can go through afterwards and kind of find it. I'm not really sure. Epcot is the hardest place to pick food for me because there's so many options.
It's like wandering into a giant food court and there's just too much choice. This is a really, really tough one. But if we know all that information in advance and we know kind of all of the really good options, we can see a bit more what we feel like on the day, because that is hard to do when you don't know what's around, and you will find that you'll walk the showcase and you'll go, we'll just see what grabs our fancy, and it might be too late to turn back. Whereas if you do a little bit of that kind of casual browsing now, even if you don't decide on somewhere, you'll be a lot more prepped to go, okay, I saw a couple of really cool things in Mexico and I saw a couple of really cool things in France, not really sure what I'm going to go for, but let's sort of keep that in mind while we're deciding.
Now, Hollywood Studios is a little bit more of a different thing for me because we're on Quick Serve at the moment. They're fine. I want to go to Fantasmic, but I don't want to queue for Fantasmic.
Or sit with lots of people.
So for me, I usually pick a dining experience. So if I unclick these, let's see. Dining events, dessert events. Yeah. Now, we usually go for the Fantasmic dining package, and I know a lot of people have asked me before how you get to this. You can either Google Fantasmic dining package, or what I just did there, you can check the special events. And on here then what you'd do is you'd pick the restaurant from the drop down menu that you'd want to eat at, and you'd pick the time, and you just search the times. There's probably not going to be any this time, although it is Mama Melrose. Yeah, there definitely is.
11:30 in the morning.
Caravan Road, this looks really good. I've not seen this before.
Noodles and broccoli. That's a very
Ooh,
you dish. Right
where
there.
even
That's
is that?
very you.
I like that. Oh, I know where this is now. I like that it always shows you where it is, so that when you're in the park, you can see.
It's a little kiosk. Noodles.
Just
and that's it.
Well, I don't know. We can see the menu.
I like all the black sesame in that. It looks good.
Noodles. It's just noodles.
Asian noodle salad.
Teriyaki beef slider though, and we probably would have walked. This
With
is
pickled cucumber. Do you know what pickled cucumbers are?
gherkins.
Yeah, pickles. They've already got a name.
I like this because sometimes, especially in Animal Kingdom, this was I only know of places because obviously I used to work there and I used to read the signs. There's so many really unique places like that does really cool food, but unless you know what's on the menu, you're not going to stop at every kiosk and check
they're
every
very
menu.
easy to pass over. If you don't know that one's there, you might just wander past that, and that's actually a cool little option. Because you do like a good noodle salad.
Is this the place you tell me about with the fruit?
Yes, where you go get like a nice big red American apple, which is always really nice, and they have like ice water and lots of water.
Let's have a look.
Fat things.
Again, it's cool that it shows you when it's snacks.
Yeah, there we go. Like a waxed apple. That's what we used to get when we were in Animal Kingdom. We'd go really early, get there, do the safari, get off, do the safari again, and then get like a nice big red apple or something.
Another thing that I've just noticed that Ash will really appreciate, and we would never have noticed, if I saw a Harambe fruit market, I wouldn't think of a mango passion fruit snow leopard vodka slushy.
And I like snow leopard vodka. I've got a bottle of that in the cupboard right now. It's really good. So now I know that that's there. That's 100% happening, and I will be incredibly disappointed if I forget.
And you'd have never known.
I'd have never known. It's only $10. Well down for that.
Exactly. Now you know.
Now I know.
Now, that's kind of the parks. I find them pretty easy to kind of go through because you're kind of... It's nice and easy. You're in Epcot. You're looking at food in Epcot. The ones that I find are really difficult are actually the resort ones.
Resorts and Disney Springs for me are probably the two hardest because there's so many choices and you're kind of... If you're going to eat there, you're free to go to any of them. You've got just lots of choice.
Also, though, that we discovered last trip, and I didn't even think about this until we were there. Think about where you are and how easy something is going to be to get to.
One of the big things that not ruined but made our yachtsman meal slightly less enjoyable, we still had a fantastic evening, but was the travel from the restaurant back to our resort was a little bit of a nightmare. It was 2 buses. Yeah,
one bus from the resort to Disney Springs and then the Disney Springs bus to the resort, but it went through the other resort first, and it took us about an hour and a bit to get back, didn't it?
And it was just too long and too tiring to do after a really lovely meal. So thinking about when you put these resorts on your list and how you're going to get there and back is a really key consideration, because you don't want to put that on a really late night. If something's going to be 4 resort buses away, you really kind of have to take that into account and go, right, how much do I want to eat here? Do I want to put up with this amount of travel time?
That's why usually when we go to Animal Kingdom that evening we'll have a meal at Animal Kingdom Lodge, because it's the easiest way to get there.
Yeah.
It's so quick to get there.
And otherwise that place is far from everything else.
And for me as the driver for next trip, really when I'm looking at table service, I'm looking at the alcohol menu, because if there's a cocktail I really want to get, I want to make sure I'm not driving there because I want to drink it. So for example, this is not the restaurant, but on the day we go to Discovery Cove, I had that in the evening going to Yachtsman, and I'm fully intending to drive to the Yachtsman because it was really far. And when I actually sat down and thought about it, I'm like, well, no, I can't, because that means I can't drink at all at Discovery Cove, and it just puts a lot of pressure on that. Whereas now if we go to Disney Springs for food, I can drink and then we can just get the boat over. So it's just really trying to plan where you're going to be and how easy something is to get to.
Because the last thing you want is for those realizations to hit you on the day. You do not want to wake up in the morning and go, great, it's our Discovery Cove day, fantastic. And then for us to go all the way to Discovery Cove for them to say, hey, what do you want to drink? It's all included, all inclusive, drink whatever you want. And for you to go,
water.
Great, I'll have a water because I've just realized that I'm driving to the Yachtsman tonight.
So I know it sounds crazy that I plan my meals so far in advance, but I'm not really necessarily planning our meals. I'm planning almost like a strategy, or if we're in an area and we go, I could really fancy some food right now, I kind of have in my mind some place that we'd really like to go to, that we're not wasting any of our credits, we're not wasting any of our time. We can just be like, okay, we're here. This looks really good. We're in Liberty Square. Okay, perfect. There, we are hungry. We really fancy those waffles. We're here. Let's go get them. We're waiting for our fast pass for Kilimanjaro Safari to start off. While we're here, the fruit stand does alcoholic slushies. Ash, do you want to grab one? It's just, you don't have to then sit and do all of this in the park. You can be like, okay, what do I fancy? I know this is here. I know this is really cool. I want to go get this.
The research is only ever going to help. Just being more prepared and just thinking through some of the logistical problems beforehand is incredibly valuable. Because yeah, it's a vacation and no one wants to plan it to death, but at the same time, you don't want to get tied into like a decision that you end up going, I could have spent an extra hour in the park if we'd just done this today and that tomorrow. Because that will cut into your vacation time in a completely different way. And while we're not on vacation right now, if you spend an hour in the evening looking through the Disney website, you're having a very, very good time. So you can have a great time now for an hour and save time later on. So it kind of just
it's a win-win.
Works out. Full win-win.
So yeah, I think this video was mainly, I just wanted to kind of tell you a bit more about the process that I go through when I'm booking. Well, not booking, but when I'm looking. And just by going through menus and just looking at pictures, like Disney have got on it with their food pictures right now, just showing you kind of the best of what that restaurant has. So go through that. Highly recommend it. The site's got a lot better and it's a lot easier to use now.
And the filters at the top are fantastic. If you're looking for a very particular sort of thing at a very particular time on a particular day for a particular type of meal in a particular place, just type that all in, click search, and then Disney will go, great, pick from any of these. And that's incredibly useful, because if you don't know what you're looking for, but you know kind of what you're looking for, they'll be able to help you out and bring up some suggestions that you might not have thought about.
Mm-hmm. So for us now, really, we're going to get looking and finding where we actually want to eat on our trip and go through all of this process together.
And we're going to end up with a very pared down list at the end of it with okay, this is what we're shooting for, and if we can't get these are our alternates.
But one that we're not disappointed with. Exactly. And we'll enjoy everything. So we'll definitely share that list with you when we got it. But I just kind of wanted to do a little holiday update and discuss with you the process of finding all the best places to eat. Nom 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 nom.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this video. Really hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and why not subscribe to our channel? You can also check out one of our other videos that should be on screen right about now.